Epithelial cells are polarized, meaning they have a distinct top and bottom. The apical surface is the top layer facing either the external environment or the inside of a body cavity, such as the intestinal lumen or the airway. This is the surface that interacts with external materials like nutrients, air, or mucus. Often has specialized structures to increase its function. Microvilli, which are tiny finger-like projections, increase surface area and improve absorption. These are especially abundant in the intestines. In contrast, cilia are longer, hair-like structures that can move substances across the surface, such as mucus in the trachea. The basal surface is the bottom part of the epithelial cell. It anchors the epithelium to the underlying connective tissue, using a structure called the basal lamina. The basal lamina acts as a selective filter, determining which molecules from the underlying tissue can pass into the epithelium. This polarity is critical for directional transport, absorption, and secretion. Epithelial cells are held tightly together by specialized junctions that help them function as a barrier and resist mechanical stress. Tight junctions form a seal between neighboring cells, preventing substances from leaking between them. This is especially important in tissues like the small intestine, where digestive enzymes and waste products need to stay within the lumen and not pass into the surrounding tissue. Desmosomes act like molecular rivets, anchoring cells to each other and providing mechanical strength. You'll find these junctions in areas subject to stretching and friction, such as the skin and cardiac muscle. They allow the tissue to remain intact even under physical stress. Gap junctions are specialized connections that create small channels directly linking the cytoplasm of neighboring cells. These channels allow ions, small molecules, and signaling compounds to pass from one cell to another, enabling coordinated responses across the tissue. This is especially important in areas where cells need to work together. For example, to synchronize cilia movement in respiratory epithelium or to regulate ion transport in intestinal lining. Unlike tight junctions, which block passage, gap junctions promote internal communication, helping epithelial cells function as a coordinated unit rather than as isolated individuals. Together, these junctions maintain tissue integrity and support the specialized roles of epithelial cells. Although epithelial tissue forms a surface barrier, it relies on support from the connective tissue below. This support is provided by the basement membrane, which lies between the epithelium and the connective tissue. The basement membrane consists of two main layers. Basal lamina is the upper layer produced by the epithelial cells themselves. It contains proteins like laminin and collagen 4 and helps regulate what passes from connective tissue into the epithelium. Beneath that is the reticular lamina produced by the connective tissue. It contains type 3 collagen fibers, also known as reticular fibers, which provide structural support. Together, these layers form a strong selective interface between epithelial and connective tissues, anchoring the epithelium in place while regulating exchange of materials and supporting tissue repair. One defining trait of epithelial tissue is that it is avascular, meaning it contains no blood vessels. Instead, epithelial cells receive oxygen and nutrients by diffusion from capillaries in the underlying connective tissue. Despite this, epithelium is innervated, meaning it contains nerve endings that allow it to detect sensations like pressure, temperature, or pain. Epithelial tissue also has a high regenerative capacity. These cells divide rapidly to replace those that are constantly being damaged or sloughed off, as happens in skin, digestive tract, and respiratory passages. This rapid regeneration is vital for maintaining barrier integrity and tissue function in areas exposed to friction, chemicals, or pathogens.